And welcome back. I'm joined once again by the Malzberg panel. Mark Geist, retired U.S. Marine, former U.S. security contractor at Benghazi, and author of 13 Hours, the inside account of what really happened in Benghazi. And Ed Butowsky, an associate of Mark Geist, who knows more about Benghazi than he's been willing to talk about on television much before, but he's with us today. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ed, I want to ask you this. You two have been pointing out some of the discrepancies, some of the problems that you see with the Intelligence Committee report. What do you think would be the motivation for the report to maybe purposely not get all these facts quite right?
Well, first of all, I want to restate, the reason I'm doing this today and the reason that it's important is that I'm tired of these men being questioned and discredited by people, because when people finally understand what took place there, and hopefully that will soon come through the Trey Gowdy Committee, when the Select Committee on Benghazi, when actual investigation is done, because the House Intelligence Committee did not do a thorough investigation of any kind. Now, why would this happen? There's a lot of reasons on both sides of the aisle that what was going on there, and very few people, because of the secret nature of what they were doing, are coming forward and explaining it. I'm certainly not going to share with you what I know based on what they were doing there, but I rest assured, everyone watching this right now, there were other things going on there that both sides of the aisle do not want out in the public.
Well, isn't that possibly at the heart of this entire thing? This entire thing was taken as a political opportunity by certain people who were running for office or had reasons to want to criticize the administration, when in fact, it wasn't necessarily about politics at all. It was about other things, like maybe what the CIA was doing there, and useful things that somebody was out there risking themselves, people like Mark Geist, for our country. Mark, how did you feel when you saw how this was turned into a political football?
Well, you know, as I've stated before, it's very sad that there's people out there that are going to take something where they should be honoring the 4 people that died and turning it into something political instead of just coming out and telling the truth.
Yeah. It's a fascinating thing, and what is troubling, I know that you guys really, we've talked about this quite a bit before today. You guys really do believe that this report was not what it really should have been, and this is the Intelligence Committee. One thing this report did not do, Ed, it did not get into much when it comes to the State Department, and that means the Secretary of State. Do you think we're going to hear more of that in the upcoming Gowdy Commission?
Well, I got to tell you, Rick, it's a great question, because I think you're going to hear a lot of everything. You're going to hear a thorough report. I get phone calls almost every day from people who were there. I've spoken to about 10 people who were there while these men were saving their lives, saying, how in the world can a report sound like that? Why are people doing this? It wasn't but 15 minutes before we went on the air, I got a call from somebody else who was there that night, that night, watching this, being a part of it. So why are people doing this? You know what? We're gonna find out, and when that report is done, I'm very comfortable that the Trey Gowdy report, or the committee led by Phil Kiko and Dana Chapman, are going to get to the bottom of what they can. But Rick, here's an important point. A lot of things that were happening there, people don't need to know and won't know because there's national security issues. So everyone needs to actually understand that as well.
All right, you say that there were national security issues. I personally believe that. Right. But you got to wonder why, if there were national security issues involved, did certain members of the House, certain members of the Senate go out there and start taking a political side of this thing when they should have known, shouldn't they, that there was national security involved here and it wasn't something to be talked about, and yet they did?
Well, I think a lot of people did not know. When they said, I don't know, as for instance, Congressman Chaffetz went on television often saying, I don't know. He didn't know. A lot of people did not know as they found out. Now you start seeing people taking different postures and different positions. But I will tell you, there's a lot of stuff that was going on there. But what can't be, confused is the heroism of the men who wrote the book 13 Hours. There are 30 people alive today because of that.
So I guess the bottom line to this is Benghazi is a never-ending story. There is going to be more to come. If you're interested in what the Intelligence Committee had to say, it's easily available. I recommend you get it. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to be right back with, of course, the best of Give Me 5.